If you look at the natural world, a few functions are in balance. A small number of primes have a lot. The majority share a little among themselves. That kind of form is the system's balance. But our Mobick has to thick a middle class. Because of that, while the middle class were not aware of it themselves, there must have been some transfers of ownership. There probably weren't any, and from what I've heard, there are people who sold a lot right away in Jeju Island, and those people were the middle class. No, they're just ordinary people. Ordinary people. Actually, some North Korean defectors spent time car camping and went through so much trouble to climb the mountains. But when asked a year later, they said not a single person was left and they'd all sold. They probably sold them very cheaply because, even though we are both Korean, North Korean defectors have a different way of calculating opportunity costs. So they heard from someone about Jeju Island and came here, but it was only worth tens of millions of won. So they just sold it, right? That's probably why. Pi coin, we talked about this in graduate school, but the reason Pi coin is at that price is because within Korea, it went up to 50, 01 and things like that. But once it actually gets listed, in developing countries, we don't really use the term developing countries these days. We call it the Global South. So they are receiving it based on the wages of the Global South. For example, if Bitcoin were in the Philippines or somewhere like that, if these were distributed in the mountains of Southeast Asia, but the price wouldn't be this high, with a thick layer of middle-class holders. If you look at individuals, it might not seem like it, but those who brought their families along, simply put, between 8,000 and 10,000 coins. There are many owners in that range. So for Bitmobic to leap forward to the next stage, those who hold between 1,000 and 10,000 coins, we can't just push them out. And these people, their bigger dreams, whether they hold on or a significant number of them exit at a certain point, they get out. I don't know when they'll exit, but those who exit and those holding over 100, they'll make up about 60% to 70% of the total. These people have big dreams, you see? And then, those holding fewer than 100 are spread out across the rest. That is the ideal balance. Then, the situation would be quite stabilized. I have a vision in my mind of that. With that vision, I will implement policies. Through those policies,